Hello, everyone. Today is a special day. This is my first ASMR video that I'm recording ever. So don't be too critical, and I hope you enjoy. Today, I just wanted you to see and just get to know, I guess, the world of Rubik's Cubes. It is a big world. There's a lot to learn. Don't worry, I'll be here. And this video will just be a general kind of surface level talk about the world of Rubik's Cubes. And I think cubes sound really nice as ASMR material. So I think hopefully my two maybe hobbies, you could say, will mesh well together. I have a few cubes today. These are all of my 3x3s, I think anyway, that I own. This is my main one. It's the nicest one. I don't know if it sounds the best, but we will see. I think this was my first 3x3. As you can see, it's a different design. It's the classic stickered design rather than this more modern stickerless. I do prefer the stickerless design, but this one is definitely more recognizable. And then another cube here. Sounds quite different as well. Might be quite loud. I don't know. Try to go slow with it. It's kind of in between these two in my cubing journey. So first, I'd like to just start off with the basics. I'll actually put this here. Oh, this here is actually another one of my cubes, you could say. A dear friend of mine made this for me. I think it's really pretty. I'll come back to that. I also have some good old hot chocolate here. It says, "You are brilliant," because you are. That's nice. Oh, and my little turtle friend here. He'll be watching and relaxing with us too. Now, where was I? The Rubik's Cube is, well, a cube. It has 6 sides, like any other cube, and 6 colors. Now, the colors are very important. As you can see, they're all the same on all of my Rubik's Cubes. Can't really see, but they all match up. They all have the same color scheme, and all the colors are in the same position relative to each other. This is important for solving. Kind of important. It makes it a lot easier to remember certain patterns and stuff like that. Even this cube has the same color scheme: white, red, yellow, orange, green, and blue. Now, these colors are in specific positions that are usually always the same. And we have yellow opposite white, red opposite orange, and green opposite blue. Now, this is important because it means that, for example, yellow and white don't actually share any pieces together. So you'll never have a piece that is both white, that has both white and yellow on it, because they're opposite to each other on the cube. Same goes for blue, green, and red and orange. It's important to note that a common kind of misguided or just wrong way, I should say, wrong way of thinking about a Rubik's Cube is that the stickers move. The stickers don't move. It's the pieces, the individual pieces of the Rubik's Cube that move. There are three types of pieces: corner pieces, edge pieces, and center pieces. The corners and edges are all unique. Well, and center pieces, I guess. They're all unique. They all move around. But it's important to note that the center pieces don't really move, they just rotate. And they're always in the same position relative to each other. No matter what you do. Let me really scramble this up now. So you can see, cube is all scrambled up. It's all random, it's all chaotic, but the centers are still in the same position. If we grab another cube here, rotate it, you can see yellow, red, green, white, orange, blue, all in the same relative positions to each other as they were at the start. Now let me quickly solve this Rubik's Cube for you. I'll dive into a little bit more detail on how I solve Rubik's Cubes, which is the general most popular method, which is CFOP, which is a kind of the next step after the beginner's method that I would say most people know if they've ever dived into the world of Rubik's Cubes. Now, solved again, and we've learned that it's the pieces that move, not the stickers, and every piece is unique. There is no two pieces that are the same or that have the same exact colors. So all the edge pieces are unique, and all the corner pieces are unique. That means there's only one place for each piece to be, only one possibility, which is this solved state. And only one way these colors are aligned to each other as well in a solved state. Maybe we should move on to a different cube, just for some different sounds. I don't know. This might be a bit loud, but hopefully it's okay. Now, I guess I could start talking about solving Rubik's Cubes now. The way you solve one is kind of not the way most people think. I think that a lot of people who don't really know about the world of cubing assume that you solve one color at a time, which is natural. I also thought that before. And you definitely start by solving one side, usually the white side. But it becomes very different after that. Now it's important to note here, the first step is the cross, the white cross. And you can see that the centers and the edges, their colors line up. I didn't just put them in random order and have them not match up, like this for example. That would be wrong. This piece, although it looks, from this side it looks like, oh, you know, white, it belongs there. It's actually not, does not belong there. Its place is here. Next, in the CFOP method, you solve, well, CFOP stands for, what was it? Center or something like that. Oh no, cross. Yeah, of course. Cross F2L, which is first two layers, which is these two. And then OLL, orientation of last layer, and PLL, permutation of last layer, which is just all to do with this last layer. So we just did the C in CFOP, cross. Now we're doing the F, which is first two layers. This is a bit more advanced than the beginner's method, because in the beginner's method, oh, I forgot I paired those up. It's just, for example, you would just insert the corner here without regards to what edge goes in, and then you would put the edge in later. But with CFOP, you line the corner up with the edge in such a way that when you insert the corner, the edge moves with it, and you solve two at the same time, which is usually a lot faster than doing them separately. So here I've again aligned the corner with the edge. I can insert it like this. Now I spot these two. I can insert them like this to the back. Now these two are already paired up, which is great. I can just insert them like that. Again, this is a very general overview. I'm not teaching you how to solve a cube. I'm just letting you know about the world, I guess, in an ASMR style. Next is OLL, which is the orientation of the last layer, which basically just means that you want to orientate all the yellow pieces up to face upwards. And this is kind of a funny step because this is, you disregard the all the side colors and you worry about them in the next step. So I think this is this algorithm. Now, the cross and F2L is a lot more of an intuitive step. F2L has a few algorithms and a few specific ways to do it, but generally it is pretty intuitive. Intuitive not in to say that it's easy, intuitive meaning more that you have to rely on your intuition and you have to kind of just figure it out by yourself almost. But the last two steps are, you just learn them off essentially. There's a bunch of algorithms. I only know 2-look OLL and mostly 2-look PLL, which means I solved this in 2 steps and I solved this in 2 steps, or most of the time it's 2 steps anyway. And that's a lot easier because you only need to remember a few algorithms. Whereas if you want to 1-look them, as in solve them in one big step, then you need to know a lot more algorithms and it becomes a lot harder, and I'm still learning those. But fortunately, I actually know this PLL. I believe it's a JPerm, but I don't know. I think it is, yeah. There we have it. The cube is solved. Let's try maybe this one. I know it has a bit of a springy kind of spring noise. So apologies if you can hear that. It seems to be fine for now. Now these two are stickerless. This is a sticker cube. They're the exact same, it's just a different style. These has stickers on it, whereas this, each piece just is made of that color of plastic that it's meant to be, and they're joined together. Now, same as before. I can see these here. I can just rotate this to go into there. Same for this. This belongs here, and while I'm doing that, I can do this to insert the orange pair. Well, I don't know if it's a pair. I don't know. orange edge piece. Now, you might be wondering how I'm moving so fast. Mostly it's practice. Oh, I don't know where that went. Oh, there it is. But finger tricks are a big part of cubing if you want to be fast with it. So for example, let me set up a pair here. I want to insert these two into here. And instead of doing something like this, which is big, bulky, slow movements, I can keep holding onto this face, twist it like this, use my index finger to flick the top layer, and then twist it back. That's actually kind of a very famous move, which is this. And as you can see, you can do it quite quickly if you do the finger tricks. Get locked up every so often, but that's okay. No, it's perfect. Next, the last pair. And this. And this. This one I actually don't know. It's the kind of mirror of the J-perm, but I've forgotten how to do it. And then it goes into this and this. I know it looks like magic, but maybe I'll make more of a tutorial next time. But there are plenty out there if you're really interested. I think the main thing of this video is just the sounds, really. And the rambling. I guess I could go back to my favorite one. I like this one because, well, it's stickerless, it's pretty smooth, it's pretty fast, and it has magnets on the inside. So if I take out corner piece here, you can see that there's a magnet. Well, there's these things as well, the fish scales. I don't know how much they help. Supposedly they make it smoother. There's less friction, but the main thing really are these magnets. There's a core inside of here. I don't know, you probably won't be able to see, but there's a ball inside of there that has magnets that these stick onto. And all the edge pieces also have magnets here on the sides, and this piece also has magnets here, which means it sticks to the other pieces and it kind of snaps into place. So you see when I turn it, it almost finishes by itself because there are magnets that guide it. This also has magnets, but I think less. I think only in the sides, not in the center. And they're weaker, I think. I don't know, that's kind of a personal preference though. Take another sip of my hot chocolate. Oh, I think I hit you there, sorry. Let's see. I guess I can do some solves and ramble a bit about my cubing journey, which isn't really too much to talk about. I haven't been in any competitions or anything. Don't think I'm really good enough yet. I'm almost there, but I don't know. It's a lot of pressure to go to competitions. And honestly, I've found my place with cubing. I like to do it just as a relaxing, almost fidget toy-like activity. I even bring it to parties sometimes. What am I doing? Oh yeah. you know, I've socialized enough, or I just want to sit down and relax, I just cube. I think it's cool. I think everyone should learn how to solve a Rubik's Cube. It's a lot of fun. It will take a while. You'll forget stuff. You'll get confused. But honestly, it's a lot easier than people think, especially the beginner's method. You only need to learn about 1 or 2 algorithms and some specific steps. It'll take you a while to solve your first few Rubik's Cubes, probably 2 minutes, around 2 minutes, definitely over a minute. But then once you practice more and more and learn about little shortcuts here and there, your time will go down. That's what happened to me. That's what happens to everyone. And then once you reach a certain point, with the beginner's methods, you can't really go much further. And I'd say this is around, I think I did this when I had around a minute, maybe a minute 10 would be my average solve time. And then you can move on to CFOP, which is the method I use and the method the vast majority of cubers use. The great thing about learning CFOP after beginners is that because it is quite similar to the beginner's method, you can do the cross in the CFOP method, and then if you want to just focus on the cross, you can do the cross with the CFOP method and then do the rest as the beginner's method, and then you can get down the cross. Then you can move on to F2L, which is the step I'm on now, and practice F2L a lot and solve the rest of your cube just using the beginner's method, or in whatever order you want to learn them. CFOP is quite difficult. It took me a good bit of time to be comfortable with it, especially F2L. You might think that learning a bunch of algorithms is difficult, but it's not really. Once you can see the patterns and you know what move to execute, it's completely muscle memory. After that, I couldn't tell you half the the first move of half the algorithms I know. I just see the colors in a certain way and my fingers move in a certain way. That's really it. Sometimes when I get stuck, it's because I'm trying to remember actively how to do a certain algorithm, and I just need to switch off my brain and muscle memory it, and it works. Sometimes. But yeah, CFOP can be difficult. Took me a while to learn. I think, what I struggled most with was the F2L, because there's just so many variations and it's just kind of complicated, to be honest. It was kind of frustrating to me. And when I finally got my head around it, I was really, really, really slow. Slower than the beginner's method. Oh, I did that wrong. Okay, let me just do a full... Oh, I guess that worked. Yeah, I was really slower even than before learning CFOP, and I felt like I was going backwards. You know, I spent months learning this new cool way of solving a Rubik's Cube, and suddenly I'm worse. How does that happen? But you just have to stick with it. And, you know, practice. Find time to relax or to just sit down and do a couple solves. Is that yellow? That's yellow, yeah. It's hard to see with this lighting. But yeah, I think Rubik's Cubes are really cool. You can get really into them if you want. I got really into them for a while and then kind of stopped. I haven't really progressed in the last maybe year. I'm cubing for about 3 years. But that's okay. I still have fun with it. I think a lot of people can too. I'll leave it there. Maybe I'll do, okay, fine. I'll do one more solve. Just because I want to. On this cube. And then I'll leave it there. I plan to do more videos on this channel. I don't really know exactly what. But I've always been a big fan of ASMR. So we'll see. We'll see, I suppose. I do have... Oh, that's nice. Let's see that went in there by itself. I have more Rubik's Cubes. I have a 4x4 here that actually sounds quite nice. I'm not really good at solving them, but I can solve them. So maybe I'll do a video on that. Because I think Rubik's Cubes make nice sounds. I also love rambling, so thanks for listening. I hope you have a good night, and I also hope to see you next time. Bye bye.